What's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to another episode of Chopping It Up with Q podcast. I think this is what's technically season 2, episode 5. I'm Q.
And I'm BJ, and we have a special guest in the building with us this evening.
You kidnap somebody and force them in this thing, huh?
I did forcibly get him here, but now that he's here, he's a willing participant, so we'll let him introduce himself.
Well, I was told either I had to show up or my hoodie collection would be stolen. So, I mean, I made the right decision and showed up, but I'm CEOHaize.
Hey, man, first of all, brother, if you ever feel in danger, just blink twice and I'll understand the signal. We got to keep our hoodies intact. They be thieving out here in these streets.
Exactly. And then boasting about it on Twitter like I haven't stolen a hoodie, like you just entitled to hoodies. So, you got, man, keep your hoodies, man. Make them lay in the wet spot and keep your hoodies.
There you go. Yeah, make them earn them.
Oh my God. All of this is horrible. No, don't do any of that. Don't make anyone lay in the wet spot.
It's yours though. If you made the spot, it should be yours though, right?
I'm not laying in no wet spot. I don't care what happened.
Oh man, see.
I don't care who made it, where it came from. God himself could have put that wet spot there. Guess who's not laying it?
That's not real, man. You gotta own up to that and be like, yo, that's me. I got it. It's cool.
Fine, paper, rock, scissors for it. I'm a generous person.
Oh man, CEOHaize, man. Let the folks know what you doing out here in these streets. I already know you got to let people know about the podcast and all that other good stuff, man. What's good?
Oh man, I mean, I'm doing a little something, Q. I'm the host of the Awaken Soul podcast. I'm also one of the co-hosts on the Breaks Radio, and I am the owner of the Breaks Media Network, which is a media company that has a podcast network, YouTube channel, and we also, once we launch our website, we'll be having written blogs as well. So we try to be well-rounded. We try to have all the bases covered.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, YouTube, doing things like a web series or, what you got going on there?
So we have one dedicated show as of right now, which is Cloth Talk, which is an interview series. The guy who hosts it, he does interviews with anything from models to artists to just general conversation about relationship topics with other podcasters. He's really good, really dope video quality. So check that out. But starting in 2019, we may have some special stuff that I'm not gonna quite peel back the curtain on yet, but there'll definitely be some stuff there. It's all exclusive. So what we're trying to do different is we don't want to have just a video version of the podcast you guys already listen to on YouTube. So anything that goes up on that channel is going to be exclusive to just YouTube. So it's going to be special.
Okay. You know what? I tried doing the video version, but somebody was just, started having questions like, man, do I got to put my makeup on? Do I got to get my good wig? All that other stuff. And I was like, woman, you don't just record and stop playing? But,
Well, actually, it was just because I didn't want to put pants on. Let's be frank here. Like, let's keep it a buck. It was because I just didn't want to wear pants. So
no, she didn't want any video evidence of all the hoodies she's stolen over the years.
You know what? It's making sense now. You're right.
I did not show up here today full of whiskey and Orajel to be accosted like this. Did not.
Oh man, whiskey and orange. That almost sounds like a good. Never mind. I can't say that on it. But hey, man,
okay.
Sophie, how your weekend was, girl?
It's been a weekend. It's good. I golfed yesterday with my dad and his friends. So we drank and talked shit and played golf. I golfed horribly, so let's not talk about that part.
Look at you being a 1%er, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, just I was out there doing rich people shit with my poor ass. Got it. And they were like, and my dad's like waving to the white people. And he has his white, his voice. Hey, how you doing, Trevor? Hi. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. This is what we're doing. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, it was fun going golfing the one time I've been because you just I intentionally wear hood type clothes just to make people feel uncomfortable. So I showed up with the baggy jeans with some I think I had some J's at that time, and yeah, white tee, golfing in a hoodie.
So you just went any kind of way.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, making sure. But no, we did that. Today I watched football. Obviously, like I said, I have a toothache, so I really didn't do much today, lay around. But my Bears won, so I'm happy about that.
Y'all happy because y'all finally starting to get wins. But hey, go ahead.
We have suffered a long time, and you are going to let me have this.
Yeah, all right. It's fine. You earned it.
Thank you.
There will be no bear slander while I'm around because that is also my team.
Come on, man.
You tried it.
Come on, man. I'm not even gonna get into the whole
aspect
of it.
Tried it. Look at that.
But you know what? I'm gonna let y'all. Y'all having a good season this year, so I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Thank you. How was your weekend, sir?
Man, okay. So, me being who I am, I went Christmas shopping late. We already know Christmas next week sometime, and so I finally decided to go ahead and get out there and deal with these folks. And when I say it's that point where you realize, hey, man, do I really like mingling with people in confined spaces? And you wonder why people get so irritated around this time, because I thought I was going to get into it with somebody over a parking spot and, people bumping into you. And when you look at them funny, they look at you like, what's wrong? It was all that this weekend, but I finally did get it done in like a couple hours. But, man, yeah, honestly, that was pretty much the highlight. Just dealing with people. That's it.
Hey, what you got? How was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome. I took the kids to see that new Spider-Man movie, which is amazing, by the way.
Okay, cool. I got that on my radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the family went and saw that. It was dope. It was very good. But other than that, it's really just been a lot of chillaxing and recording and podcasting. That's how my weekends typically go. So it's pretty laid back.
All right. So what got you into podcasting? I got it because I like talking shit. And I want people to listen to me talk shit. So, what was your reason?
So I originally got into podcasting, doing a wrestling podcast a few years ago, and so I used to call into another sports podcast. They used to have like every Friday night or something. They would call in. I would call in every Friday, and then one time, like the host ended up keeping me on the show for like basically the whole show, and then afterwards he was like, "Can you stick around? I want to talk to you." He was like, "You should really consider doing this. Like, you're really good and natural." So I was a huge wrestling fan. We started the wrestling podcast. I did that for about 2 years, and I just really wanted to do something more. I was like, you know what? Doing this, it got me like used to podcasting, but I want to do more. And I'm someone who I love having deep conversations. I love having conversations that we typically don't have in our culture. Like, more people are doing the mental health stuff now, but at the time, like, there wasn't really much mental health. That was one of my big first episodes of The Awakened Soul. And wanting to do more.
You mean you can't just go to church and pray it away?
Listen, oh man, like the whole, oh God, that irks me so bad. Like, yeah. Hey, that was the mindset forever.
I swore, they said all I had to do was just get down and pray it. It'll be all good. Damn.
I wish it was that easy.
If it was that easy, that's what everybody would be doing, I'm sure. So.
Oh man, that's what's okay. Oh man, wrestling. All right. What is in your opinion, the best era of wrestling?
Oh, the Attitude Era, absolutely.
Okay.
That and the Monday Night Wars era is absolutely the best era of like wrestling. I think like right now, New Japan is probably the best product all around right now. But look at you. I haven't really talked wrestling in years, but yeah, they're definitely the Attitude Era.
Yeah. All right. Now I was just gazing because I was like, I grew up in the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars, and that's when I watched it the most. I was a big NWO fan and all that stuff. I don't know why I always like cheering for the bad guys because it seemed like they were more interesting. But
Yeah, it had more personality.
Yeah, exactly. But man, all right, yeah, man.
Y'all are cute.
Whatever, nigga. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's all good though. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's another thing I found out. So, this weekend I also ran into some slander of my hometown of Beaumont on what's the name of that website where you get Urban Dictionary. Yeah. Man, let me read y'all to this. So for all my BMT folks, man, we already know. I ain't gonna lie, some of it's true, but still, it ain't anybody had to put it out there. So they describe Beaumont, a medium-sized town in Texas that is known as the armpit or asshole of Texas. It's rather ghetto. Don't walk alone at night. It also smells bad due to pollution. The women in Beaumont are sexy, but they are either snobby or live in a trailer with their 3 kids or children.
Damn.
Okay, some of that shit is true, but still, man. Like,
Damn.
yeah, it's cold. Man. I was like, it is bad because you could do nothing but laugh, but you were like, damn, it's fucked up.
They didn't have to do y'all like that. I mean, that is.
And you can walk along down the street. Just depends on what side of town you on. That's it. Yeah. Don't let the internet fool y'all. And she, I can't comment on the part with the women, man. I'm gonna just say indifferent to that. There we go.
Yeah, they made it sound terrible. Remind me to look up Lufkin on there and see what equally horrible thing it has to say about it.
Well, they'd have to find Lufkin first, so I think it's good.
Rude. So rude.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason you hear about Lufkin is because of sports. Like, other than that, like, that's pretty much it.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right? We're living a very nondescript retirement type lifestyle. That's fine.
Oh man, but yeah, but other than that, shout outs to Beaumont though, because one of the high schools is going to state this year. So shout outs to my little cousin in the Westbrook Bruins, even though I didn't go there, but a lot of family members I know have, and they're going to the 6A state championship game. So I just want to give a big shout out to them. Yeah, and other than that, let's go and roll up in this stuff, man. So V, what we got first up, man?
Well,
yeah, I'm just put you on the spot.
Huge. I like that. You just put me on the spot. Well, thought this was interesting. There is a story from the Washington Post, and they are discussing ghosting. And what was interesting about it is they're not discussing ghosting in the way that we talk about it when we're talking about dating. They described it as a new trend in the workplace where employees just leave for a new job without telling anyone at the old job, and it is caused by a strong economy and weak social skills.
You know what? I'm gonna let my guest tackle that one first. I got opinions, but yo, Hayes, what you got on that one? Is ghosting your job a real thing, or is this just people, trying to make you feel sorry for these rich folks?
As someone who's been in management since I was 19, who has hired people, this is absolutely a real thing. And the fact that it's just now being talked about is almost crazy. Like, I think like the last 5 years or so, it's gotten worse and worse. But yeah, it's absolutely a thing. Like, people you interview, feel the interview went good, and then you call them back and they won't answer. Or you do get in touch with them and you say, yeah, well, show up. We need you to do your drug test. They won't come back after that. So it's absolutely a thing.
Let me think. How many guys? Let me go through I think I have ghosted about 4 jobs in my career.
You go to Target
from 16 on up. I think first job
he goes to Target and Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, both of them. Chuck E. Cheese. I just told him I don't work there anymore. And Target. I felt bad with Target. I just didn't show back up. I was like, man, fuck all that shit. I ain't going back. But I don't know. I mean, because I did it for the railroad too, to an extent. So the railroad had a system where you call off sick. So I was trying out the job first to see if I liked it before I actually committed to it. So I called off, quote unquote, sick for like 2 months. And
wow.
Then they finally called me back and like, hey man, look, we know you got another gig. Just let us know and write your resignation. I'm like, all right, fine, cool.
Damn, 2 months though?
Yeah, it was, I mean, because I had to make sure it was, because I remember they was telling me, they was like, okay, you get 60 days, consecutive days before they start trying to bring you the investigation. I said, okay, cool. I was like, all right, I got.
Well, why would you even push it to that? Like, what is the point?
I mean, I had to make sure that, because I had moved myself, and before I moved everybody else up here, I had to make sure it was something I was going to go forth with. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go through with it. So I wrote my letter of resignation. Is that count? Is that ghosting technically? I guess, yeah.
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 2 months, yeah. I'm gonna have to go on a limb and say yeah.
I had real problems. I was like really decide if I wanted. So yeah, I mean.
Hayes, have you ever ghosted a job?
Never.
Always giving them 2 weeks notice. And
you know what? Wait a second. No, I actually think I ghosted Target too.
See,
so
see, that's a trend now. It's more than one.
Everyone goes Target.
That was like way back in like 2005 though. But yeah, Yeah, I was working overnight and they had some crazy shit. And I got another overnight job that paid almost double. And I was just like, you know what? They were like, can you start tomorrow? I was like, I absolutely can.
Yep.
And just never went back to Target. They probably still wondering where I am.
Like, man, we ain't heard from that. We bad nigga. We thought you was dead.
Did anybody check on him?
I mean, but okay, here brings up this question then. Is it inappropriate if a job can fire you without notice? I guess it brings up the question, like, where did the whole idea of providing your employer ample time of your resignation versus them giving you ample time of a fire or layoffs?
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I think that's the hard part, right? And then even with now, I think with this place where economy-wise, you see all these large companies that get tax breaks and stuff, and when you're talking about the people that aren't in management and the people that are just kind of cogs in a wheel, they consider them replaceable. So, I think if they don't come back, they don't really care, but then it's like there's no real flexibility there. Like they expect you to come in and work long hours for whatever it is that they're paying you and know that you're going to come because one, you need a job, and two, they can replace you and be like, well, you're not working hard enough. We're just going to get rid of you and find somebody else. So I think it's this fear that people have that one makes them continue to work, but then two, of course your employer's not going to provide you with a 2-week notice. Hey, we're going to fire you in 2 weeks, so you might want to start looking for another job because they know as soon as you find one, you're not going to come back.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but this common courtesy is, hey man, look, your job work ethic is terrible, so we gonna go ahead and let you go, but we gonna give you 2 weeks to find something to go fuck up somebody else's job for another month or so.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to them financially to keep paying you when they could just get rid of you and start finding somebody else.
I feel like depending on the size of the job, they should start having like in the NBA, like departments should be able to make trades. Like if somebody ain't working out on your team, just make a trade. Maybe they'll be better on another team.
I mean, that's legit though. I mean, if you have a whole company and you got logistics, you got management or manufacturing or whatever, yeah, man. I think actually they kind of do that in my job, but a lot of times it's you get rid of people you don't want and don't like, so you kind of trade them. Yo, man, they great, man. Yeah, they gonna be dope for you until you get them over there. But I think you might get that. You're like, oh yeah, man, fuck Leo. I don't like that nigga, but I'm gonna tell him over at HR that he's the greatest worker ever, and they should really take him. They're really taking him from us.
Oh yeah, just like, look, I'm gonna hate to lose that Leo, man. He comes in here and he does stuff. That Leo just comes in here, just fucks it up every day. And they're like, really? He just comes in and crushes. Yes, crushes it.
Yep.
Clearly, leaving out the part about crushing everyone in the department's spirit, but just like, yeah, totally crushing it. Yes, definitely take Leo.
Yeah, he really.
Yeah,
put
y'all
in
sound like
work.
Y'all talking about Carmelo Anthony? Like what?
Man, why you had to do that to us, man? I knew that was gonna happen though. Melo hasn't been really good since the first year he was with the Knicks.
Quote unquote. Code name now.
Ooh, that is funny.
Man, that hurt my heart because I was like, we should have won it last year, but hey, it's gonna be one of those seasons.
He could just retire and go love on his wife and let that be the end of it. At this point, what does he have to prove? Like, who is he gonna prove it to, and with what?
I mean, he's trying to chase that ring now, man. He at the part of his career. He tried to at least get one, but the odds are very slim.
Where you gonna get it? From who?
I don't know. Maybe he could go cheerlead for somebody on, just sit on their bench and just like clap them, yeah, man, y'all did a great job. I don't know. I don't really know who will pick him up. The
question would be, who is his ego in a place where he's going to go somewhere and ride the bench in the pursuit of a ring?
I would say this. I'll pass on Hayes after this. It's a terrible thing if they would rather pay you and tell you, nah, go home. Don't worry about it. We just gonna see your checks in the mail. I mean, am I lying? If they would rather pay you to stay away until they figure out what they're gonna do with you.
Listen, Carmelo Anthony at this point in his career, the only way he's ever going to get a ring is if he buys it off of eBay.
He got to go buy some. Matter of fact, he might end up buying like an old NFL ring. But like, hey, I got a ring though.
Hey, Q, for real though, me and you have as much chance right now of contributing to an NBA team as Carmelo Anthony. Just let that sink in.
Hell yeah, I can go in and foul whoever the fuck you want. Who you want me to hit? All right. But yeah, man. I mean, I kind of anticipated it. I was like, when they made the trade for him, I said, man, that's not gonna go well. Like, I don't feel like he's that player anymore. And in order for him to function, he needs the ball in his hands. So that's not gonna work.
Nobody in their right mind is gonna give him their no. No. That's not gonna happen.
Hey man, you never know, man. Look, Josh Johnson in the NFL got a job. You remember who he is? Anybody? That's what I thought. Exactly. There you go. My point exactly.
That's so sad.
That's what I'm saying, man. Because sky's the limit. You never know.
China, we will be sending you Carmelo Anthony. That's going to be a major export next year. He can go play in China with Jimmer Fredette, and they can win titles over there. He can do like Marbury did, have a whole second career over there.
That's horrible, though, man.
That's a valid point. I think he would do well over there. They're going to adore him. He's going to be the best player on whatever team he's on.
Come on, man.
So, I mean, he can go over there and fuck their shit up.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and play with those the ball boys. Didn't one of them go overseas at one point? I'm sure they go back to Lithuania.
I don't know if Lithuania is allowing any more niggas in after what they did. Like, just being real. We have closed our borders to anyone African American. You could just stay where you are.
We don't want anything.
What are you playing? We ain't heard shit from LeVar Ball this year, huh?
Thank God.
Well, the Lonzo one is playing for the Lakers, right? And then the other one went back to school, didn't he?
Well, I remember one got kicked out of school when he was at UCLA because he was boosting, I think, Pokemon cards or something. Nah, not really. He was taking some shit that was pointless. But
the little one that went to go play, right? But didn't he leave to go play in Lithuania or whatever? And now he's going to some prep school.
Is he? Oh,
yeah. Like he went back. He left high school and now he's back in high school.
How does that work?
Shit, that's stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, he's actually back in some high school here in Ohio. It's not in Columbus. I think it's like someplace outside of Cleveland or whatever. And he goes to school with some kid that's like 7'6" or something. But yeah, it's weird.
Oh man,
look.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The guy looks like a fucking sim.
Yeah.
Manute Bowles type brother out here, huh? Hey, look. Here's the thing. I remember everybody gave LeVar Ball a lot of grief, but hey, man, he made a name for himself. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You knew who he was.
And now we all want to forget.
Talking about interview after interview. I mean, look, sometimes you just got to be a little over the top. He's great for wrestling, and business, because sometimes you just got to be a little over the top and folks just fuck with you for some reason.
Yuck. I no thank you. I'm so good. You know what? I've had all I can have. Just thank you. Check please.
Speaking of all you can have, man. One dude got a little bit more the way he wanted. I don't know if you first of all, I just have to say this, only in Florida. I mean, for all my Florida folks, I'm sorry, but for some reason it seems like the strangest stories just come out of Florida. There was a guy who ordered his Uber Eats, and some lady actually, when she delivered it, there was like some dirty drawers in it too. Now, how that happened, I don't know. I don't know if she had beef with him. He ain't tipped the last time he ordered. Who knows? But I guess one question would be this. I don't know how it happened, but this is also a reason why I would say I've always treated anybody who handles my food with dignity and like super respect, because I don't know what they're gonna do to it. is that like an unwritten rule, or do some people just kind of go bypass that?
I remember watching the movie Waiting, where the girls like the lady sit back her steak or something, and they like rubbed it on their asses and then put it back on the plate.
I
So
do remember
now,
that.
I'm like deathly afraid that like if I'm the person that's like, hey, you fucked this up, they're gonna just rub it on their ass and give it back to me. So it's just that fine line. But I feel like there's a way that you speak to people, and I think what happens a lot of times is that when something is wrong, they talk to their server super crazy about it instead of just being like, hey, I hate to bother you or whatever, but this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just one of those things where people speak to them in a certain way that somehow, which I'm not going to say it makes it okay for you to rub someone's steak on your ass and put it back on their plate, but I think it's all about delivery sometimes. So,
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I remember one time, I was in high school, I believe, and I went out to eat with my pops and his family, and he ordered a steak, and his wife had ordered a steak, and she didn't like how it came out. I guess she said they cooked it too well, whatever. So she's that person, and it's funny because when you say Waiting, she reminded me of that lady on Waiting. Put the thumb on it, like, look, it's too well done type stuff, and she let in on that waitress talking about, this is overdone, this is unacceptable, you need to bring this steak and my husband's steak back in the kitchen, blah 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 blah. And then she looked at me, was like, is your food good? Yeah, man, I'm straight.
I would have said, yeah.
They put tomatoes on it, but I could take it off. I ain't tripping like that. That was my response. But and my whole time I'm thinking, I was like, man, they finna do something to their food. It's bad you want to think about that, but yeah, I just want to tell people, man, first of all, be kind of food service workers, because they don't get paid shit, and they got to deal with your crappy ass attitude, especially those people who think their time is more precious than others. So I don't know, man. I'm glad to say I never worked in fast food or anything like that. I probably would have choked somebody, so that's why I think I stayed out of it.
So, Hayes, what are your thoughts on the subject?
Oh man, this is why, like, if I go off on somebody about food, and I'm just gonna say I just don't want it, just give me my money back, and I'm going out, because it's stuff like this that I have a phobia of somebody doing something to my food, and reading stuff like this, it just makes my skin crawl. It's disgusting. But yeah, I couldn't imagine what my response would be. First, I know that I probably want to choke someone. The fact that this guy called the police and was like, it's disgusting and unhealthy. Well, obviously it's dirty draws. Like, do you really need to explain it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he did handle that shit very civil. Like, police, yes, I've received some tainted underwear in my food.
Well, that's the thing. And people like to call the police about any motherfucking thing. Because would anybody have really called the police, or would they have just called Uber Eats and called the restaurant and been like, hey, this is what happened?
No, what really would have happened is that as soon as they got that delivery, they would have chased their ass down the block like, yo, what's good?
Yeah, she did like run off in a dead sprint, didn't she?
Yeah, they said she delivered it and just took off. First of all, that's the morning warning. Why you running off? Is this a bomb? What you got in here? What's going on?
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then to say that it's potentially deadly, like, my thing is that your draws may be deadly. I get it's disgusting, but what you got going on to where you got potentially deadly draws? Like,
yeah. Hey man, we got a hazmat situation. We need.
Well, he said that they were dirty, so I don't know if that's what he meant. Like it was going to give him E. coli or something, but
Wow. Okay. All right. E. coli. I didn't know that's how it formed.
it's not. But maybe in his mind.
I'm just saying, you learn things new every day. The internet's always right. Y'all know that.
Well, I mean, human fecal matter will make you sick. I'm just saying, maybe he thought this was the time he was going to ingest it and be sick. If she put her underwear in there, then how does he know that she didn't put it in the food?
I mean, that's true. I mean, it's still the question. Why did she throw them in there? Like, what do they really got going on where she like, you finna get these draws? Not in the way you wanted, but you finna get them.
Plus, he was in town for Art Basel, so he wasn't even from there.
No.
So she just randomly picked somebody. Like, she didn't even know him.
Yeah, man, that's horrible. You just became a victim and didn't even know her. You like, man, I don't know her.
What if this was like an elaborate way for her to flirt? Like I said before on Twitter, I don't understand the mating rituals of millennials. Maybe this is her way of shooting her shot.
Come on, man. Yeah, I think she missed that one, man. She pulled up from half court and tossed it in the stands on that one because like
you don't cook them food or ask them out anymore as a woman. You know, you just show up with their Uber Eats, drop your soiled underwear in the bag, and then take off in a dead sprint and hope that he recognizes you by the back of your head.
maybe I don't know. Like you say, I don't understand what the rules are anymore. I've been out the game for a minute, so maybe.
I don't think I ever understood the rules.
Yeah, so V next victim, next guy you try to shoot your shot. Yeah, next victim. Just toss your drawers in the bag and see what happens.
Wow. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that, but thank you.
I think BJ's way is to just steal their hoodie. Like her way of shooting her shot is to commit armed robbery.
Is that you showing affection, robbing them?
I lit your car on fire. Why don't you love me?
Yeah, I borrowed this hoodie that you ain't gonna ever get back. You still love me? This is my way of showing my affection.
I'm taking pictures in your sweaters. Why don't you respond?
I don't know, man. People are strange.
A bit psychotic, just a little.
Yeah, man. People are. Hey, another strange situation I ran into. Like I said, I like to tales from the internet. How many people y'all remember 5 Heartbeats?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, I was about to say, come on, Hayes, tell me. I understand you're a Bears fan, but you at least gotta be able to watch the 5 Heartbeats. But anyway.
Oh, come on, now.
All right. At what point did y'all feel? Was there any point where you thought the 5 Heartbeats was like a legit, real R&B band out here in these streets at one point in time?
No.
No? All right. Well, apparently, some people did. I mean, there was this actually happened on Facebook, and somebody put on here, why in 2018. Let's see. But anyways, in 2018, people believed that the 5 Heartbeats was actually a real band at some point in time.
So did they have some albums or something that we could?
I didn't know that. Raindrops was an actual album. Maybe that was their single and we didn't know about it, or A Heart Is a House Full of. See, y'all already know we can get on here singing and shit, but I didn't know any of that stuff.
In my defense, I've only seen the movie one time, so I can't sing you anything.
What?
Yeah.
So you need to stop stealing hoodies and steal some culture. That's what you need to do.
Wow, this rude. Wow, this rude. Y'all don't have to do this to me. Listen, I'll be the first to admit there's a lot of movies that I've only seen once or I haven't seen them. I still haven't seen CB4, by the way. Sorry.
What?
I keep telling you I'm watching it. I still haven't. I'm sorry.
See what I go through, man? See, it's tragic, man.
The point is, first of all, this happened on Facebook, and when it happens on Facebook, you just have to expect the worst of people. Like, you can't have lofty goals about what you're about to read or see. You have to expect the worst.
Oh, man. Because the bad thing is, I did put out there saying that the people who thought this probably thought CB4 was a real rap group.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from a person who's never seen CB4, that's okay. As a matter of fact, for Christmas, I'm gonna mail you a copy of it. There we go.
No, you're not. I don't want that.
But I don't know. Okay, so it kind of goes with the whole idea of all this. I don't know. All this stuff is researchable. You can kind of just put in the 5 Heartbeats and you'll see like 0 albums, but you'll see a film come up. Like, wouldn't that kind of answer your question?
People don't read, honey.
Isn't that? Are we really still not reading in 2018? Really?
Well, I think that it's gotten easier for them to not read.
Wow, man. I don't have any words on that one. I don't know, because it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that sometimes when people don't understand like something simple, and you tell them, you like, don't you got like a phone in your hand? You can just kind of look it up, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, I could. So like, is it the fact that we use the internet, which is a tool, but we kind of only use it for entertainment only?
That's definitely a problem for some. I think some people like don't use the tools that they have at their disposal. Like, I mean, we're walking around with like everything at our fingertips, just about. Like, you can almost find anything by just picking up your phone. But instead, people use it to post twerk videos and
Which
look at cat videos.
Big ups to the twerk videos. I remember the first time when you actually had a smartphone. Is one of the first. I ain't gonna lie. Let's be honest. The first thing that we did, either with a computer or a smartphone, was look up porn and other videos.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, facts, but you're still supposed to use it for other things.
It's just true.
I mean, I love porn just as much as the next person, but if I don't know the answer to something, I'm definitely going to use the good sis Google and figure it out. Like, not gonna let my love of porn deter me into being a dumbass.
I don't know, man. I don't trust it. Like, some people will look up everything they want to know about a certain individual, but if you ask them something complex, they like, I don't know. It's like, my nigga, you got like a whole internet at your hand. What you mean you don't know?
Well, they don't care.
Okay. All right. So I don't know means I don't. Okay, I got you.
They don't care enough to look it up. There's the difference. We should not say that they don't know and they just would like to and they're forgetting that they could know. They don't care enough to find out. Is what it is.
Oh, so you mean like Steph Curry and the moon landing?
Made my chest hurt. Oh,
okay. Hayes, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Did we ever land on the moon?
Fuck no.
Yeah. Okay. Why is that?
So, okay, this is the way that I explain this. Is that I want you to right now, or anyone who's listening to this, once you get done listening to this podcast, because you definitely finish this amazing podcast before you try to do this, but FaceTime, video chat, whatever, someone, and tell me how, even though it's clear, the video can be crystal clear, how laggy it can get sometime. So you mean to tell me back in whenever the moon landing was, because I don't remember the year, that we had a perfect video stream from space to the Earth? No, I'm not believing.
Okay. Oh man, I mean, I remember was that B?
I didn't say anything.
I mean, okay. Here's the only thing I will have as a counter argument is that I can't test to the speed or the stream or anything like that. I don't know if it's after it was recorded they were able to do some little editing or whatever, but I believe there are ways that you can actually get a good shot of the moon with a telescope and you're able to see kind of the landing site, some of the equipment that's still there, I believe. Now, I don't know if there have been drones or maybe we did put people on there. Now, the only thing I would say with people who do say they just don't, kind of like with the flat earthers, is there are ways to kind of do some of the calculations and, figure out a lot of information that we may not fully understand. But instead of maybe doing that, we just like to, I understand because, conspiracy theories are fun, especially if you can disprove, if you can prove them. They're really good, like, I got you moments. But I don't know, man. It's interesting, though. I understand that concern or understand that counter argument.
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think we've been there now. Or even after the fact. I just think the original moon landing in 1969 or whatever, I think it was completely fabricated.
Okay.
So.
That would be interesting if they faked it and then actually went to that shit and say, look, see, here's our spot.
Well, I think that there's an argument that can be made because there was this whole idea of the space race and trying to be there before the Soviets were there. And if your whole idea is that I want to beat these people and I need to make it look like I did X, Y, Z, what makes more sense than staging it? Because it was something that the nation needed to restore faith. So why not do it, stage it, have all these people, millions of people watch, and then you're kind of out of the woods. So if you do it later, She's like, oh, we went to the moon. We're going to go back so we can pick up more rocks and shit. And then you actually do go for the first time, but, nobody's going to be bothered by it. Because you've already done this huge production. So, I mean, it makes sense to an extent. I mean, it's certainly not, not the most far-fetched thing I've ever heard.
Oh, no. I think the only, no, I mean, I'm open to it. You never know. Because, I mean, hell, how many things we've been told that weren't fully, completely true. So, I mean, you never know. Only time it ever irks me is if people make arguments that make no sense. Like, we didn't go to the moon because governments lie. It's like, my nigga, what's that got to do with anything? What do you mean they lie? I mean, people lie, so what? Now what? And they don't really have a full idea of what their discussion or, they'll put out your guy, what's the Super Hotep dude that was telling women that, y'all not supposed to have periods, at least black women?
Oh, God.
That dude, was it Yada? Yeah, man. Found out he also cured herpes from somebody, man.
I forgot about him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was terrible. Okay. By the way, guys, you're definitely supposed to have a period. Please do not stop having periods. Thank you so much.
Look, sisters, don't let a lot of y'all out here. Y'all know y'all not supposed to be bleeding out the ass like that. You make sure you get your diet straight.
Wait. First of all, not after ass. So, wait. He's absolutely correct about that. So, let's just, you know what? Another day, because obviously he's not sure about how all the lady bits work. So, conversation for another day. What the fuck he's talking about? Clearly, we're just gonna move on past that.
I mean, anyone who bleeds on a regular basis, I feel like that's just a sign of crazy. So, I mean, yeah, do it. Feel free, but hey,
if you want to be less crazy, you'll stop.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, man, y'all better get y'all diet straight. See, if y'all had a great diet, y'all had to worry about that stuff. And stop eating corn. God damn it.
That's what it is.
Let me stop when somebody think I'm serious.
Fucking broccoli.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh, man. It leads into my point that I also wanted to kind of talk about of how quick we are to follow anybody because we feel like their life mirrors our own or their beliefs or what we want to believe in. So we had Cardi and my man Offset. First of all, my man Offset tried to go ahead and make his apology, but Cardi, she just ain't hearing it. Man, my man went out of the way and put it all on stage for her, got her flowers, all that stuff, and she just curved my guy. It's messed up, man. It's cold, man. Poured out his heart and she just kind of, showed him the door. But it brings up the question of, old Skruggle Love, and why do we feel like that's necessary in order to get true love, allegedly?
I'll let our guest go first.
Oh, no. I listen, I don't understand. I don't understand all this. Like, my thing is life is way too short to be unhappy. Just way too damn short. And then you let your friends convince you that you should stay in something and they or get out of something in that matter, and they don't have their life together. Like, people, just be happy. That's all I can say. As far as like Offset, I understand he's trying to keep his family together. Hats off to him for that. But this man interrupted that woman's moment, and it's just like, dude, come on, you just don't get it. And this is where I just shake my head at people.
Yeah, man, you can't roll up to nobody's job. I mean, imagine you like, baby, I'm sorry, with a big ass balloon, and let's say she a lawyer or some shit, you roll and she trying to close a deal, and here you go through with the balloon and animals. Talk about, baby, I'm sorry I fucked those two hoes. Please take me back. Just saying, like, hey,
it was an accident.
I
fell in it. I didn't know what was happening, and then I just kept trying to get up, and that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Happens to the best of us sometimes, but
And the more you tried to get up, the wetter it got, so then you just kept slipping down.
Man, look, she was strong. Every time I got up, she kind of put me back down. And I'm like, bitch, get off me. And, we was doing like a little push-up motion. And, hey,
and there you go. That's what happened. And then there was a baby. Okay, all right.
Nah. Well, hey.
All right.
But, I mean, okay. Here's my take on this. Look. I think people are misunderstanding the idea of struggle and dysfunction. I said, okay, a little struggle here and there, which means we have a little indifferences from time to time. We may have a disagreement from time to time. That's a part of the people mingling at some point. I mean, it's just like a friend. You're gonna disagree. Nah, man, Bears is trash. But then the people will be like, nah, man, they the best team ever. Okay, cool, whatever. That's a disagreement. Or somebody be like, nah, I don't steal hoodies. I borrow them. I'm just gonna give them back. Like, nah, my nigga, that's stealing. Same thing. But to emotionally abuse someone and to call that struggle, nah, that's my nigga, that's dysfunction. Like, you are not functional together, and that's something different. And I don't know if you should accept dysfunction. Now, if you can move past that, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But if dysfunction is a part of your defines your relationship, you may have to reevaluate that.
I think that a lot of times what happens is that people's role models for what a healthy relationship should look like, or what love should look like, or the way their love maps are essentially built, are based on these experiences that they've seen or learned experiences. So when the people around you have dysfunctional relationships and they mask that, or it maps onto you in this idea that you have to have this dysfunctional struggle relationship in order for it to be love, it's really hard to break that. And if you get with somebody who has also seen the same things, in your minds together, you think that this is what you're supposed to be doing because you don't know any better. So I think that you have a lot of people that are in this mindset that we're together and we have to make it work no matter what, instead of really peeling back the layers of why they think this level of dysfunction is okay. Because they're not doing anything to fix themselves so that they can ultimately fix the relationship. They're just assuming that it's okay for them to just struggle and hurt each other all the time, and that's how it's supposed to be.
You also said something else that's it's always been an issue for me, and y'all can speak to it after this. Is as we get older, should we really rely on, like, at what point do role models no longer impact your life? And when do you become the author of your own existence, ideas, and so on and so forth, and what you need out of life?
I think that should always be the case. I think that key thing to realize is that even if you look at a celebrity or anyone as a role model, the key thing to pay attention to is that we're all imperfect people trying our best way to figure out life. And so when you look at it that way, even someone you look up to, you realize, hey, I can take something from them, I can learn something from them. But you don't put people on a pedestal, not to say that they're like despicable people behind the scenes or anything, but not everything works for everyone. So you try to learn what you can from people, you apply it to you in your current situation, what works for you, what doesn't. But we got to stop feeling like we can just copy and paste what works for somebody else, bring that over into our life, and then we're going to have the same thing they do, because it just doesn't work that way. We're people. We all live different lives, and it's never going to be the exact same. Different strokes for different folks and all that good stuff. So I think once people start realizing that and looking at it that way, then they'll stop. A lot of things will get better around here, at least in my opinion.
Man, I could agree more, because here's how I look at it. I never really and I remember who was that, Jada Pinkett, when she started her little show on Facebook, and I had Will on. They were talking about their struggles and this and that and so on and so forth, and people were like, oh, relationship goals, and I'm like, what? No. I'm like, make your own goals. Like, stop. I was like, look, at the end of the day, that just shows how lazy we are. Like, we were lazy in everything. We don't want to really work on a relationship like that. I'm not saying they should work for a bad one, but the good ones. I mean, how many times we all lost a good one because we just weren't willing to do what was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, and then which is kind of, in my opinion, what I've seen people work harder for the ones that aren't that great because people told you they weren't that great, versus the ones that probably were that good, but then one infraction, you like, nope, screw that. This too good to be true. I'm out.
Well, again, I think that goes back to living in dysfunction, right? And not ever doing the things to heal yourself properly. So then when something good does come along, you can't recognize it. Or if you do, because you've been so used to dysfunction, you just assume that because there's no dysfunction, something is wrong.
Yeah, it is true. Cause I
And
think
in fact, there's nothing wrong.
I mean, I told a guy this, and I mean, we all do it. When things are going great, we do sit there and think, man, what's going on? What do you want?
Yeah.
What's your end game here? People look confused. You're like, nah, man, you too good. What's wrong with you?
That's a fact.
It's
Yeah.
sad when you think about it, though. You like, damn, are we really that fucked up? Is life really that fucked up where we're like, nah, man, if things going smooth, something bad finna happen. This is just the calm before the storm.
You get jaded to a point, and I think that that's something that I personally have definitely had to work on, especially coming out of my divorce. That was the thing I think I struggled with the most. And even with my friends now, like, we'll sometimes jokingly say, I met a guy, blah, 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 everything went really well, and then you're kind of like, yeah, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. This nigga about to do some dumb shit. Give it time. It's like,
Yeah,
like if the expectations just gonna happen. I have not given it enough time. Something is about to go left.
I mean,
and that's a horrible way to think.
Usually we do.
But
We
that's
start
a
talking.
horrible way to think.
You heard me?
I think it's all about perspective, because like some people will think that like, oh, the other shoe's about to drop or something's about to happen, and then like the moment the dude drinks all their orange juice, is like, oh, I knew it. You gotta go. You're selfish. And it's like, I just finished the orange juice. Like, so put it in perspective. Like, yeah, I understand everyone being pessimistic, especially with how people view like life nowadays. Again, millennials, I just don't get y'all. But you just got to keep it in perspective. That even if no one's perfect. So even if they seem like they're perfect initially, when the storm does come, what is going to determine how far you can go is how you guys both handle that together, rather than just run for the hills.
Yeah, I mean, we all been there. All of a sudden, you 1 minute late, and she was like, "I knew you was fucking with somebody else. Who it is?" Like, it's 1 minute. Like, it's zero chances for that to be factual, but
Yeah, we expect certain things from people, and when we don't get them, we kind of flip out. And it's like, you have to manage what you're expecting from a person. Is it realistic? Is it something that you can do? Are you putting them in a position to be successful in the parameters of your relationship? And a lot of times we don't do that for people. We expect them to do it for us, but we don't reciprocate that for them. So then, like, when you do things like drink the orange juice or are a couple of minutes late, then, like you said, in perspective, that's nothing really. But because this person has whatever else going on, they immediately fly to the worst possible scenario about it.
Hey, I've been through that before. I remember me and my wife were dating. I was hanging with a homie, and I don't know any other dudes. We was out there, we was playing the game and shit. And before I knew it, it was late, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to get back to my spot," because she was standing there at my spot. And literally, this was the time I don't know about y'all, but this is when I get accused of something I know I didn't do. I get furious because I was like, "I'm not lying. Please believe me." But she just knew that I was messing with somebody else, and I said, "No, I was just at this dude's house. You can call him." And she was like, "No, he gonna lie for you anyway." I said, "No, he's not. I swear I just left from there."
He's gonna lie too. We're not calling him.
I mean, it was like, it was one of come on, I can't be the only one there. When you're telling the truth and they don't want to believe you, get a little irritated. You like, man, look. So yeah, so I mean, I understand, and the reason being was that she dealt with people who have done that in the past. So it was to be assumed that I was doing something similar because that was her narrative based on prior experiences.
Yeah, and people just that's one thing that I think that everyone kind of needs to be more patient because everyone has gone through some stuff now. You do need to reach an understanding, but that's why it's important to have those conversations when you first get into the situations, to be open about what you've been through, what trauma you've been through, so we can know what type of crazy we're dealing with. That's it.
I like how you said type of crazy, man.
I don't know if it's even crazy, right? But I think that we do this thing where we expect people to come to us with no scars, right? Or no baggage.
Yeah,
and the thing about it is we all have some type of baggage, and whether that's a coin purse or some baggage you can fit in your wallet, or if you got 12 suitcases and a duffel, everyone is different, but everybody has something. And so this idea that you can expect a person to come to you with no baggage and no scars is just, it's insane. Like, you can't expect that from people. And like you're saying, if you're like Hayes was saying, you just kind of have to be upfront about whatever yours is.
Yeah.
And then let that, and you figure out a way to work with it, or you don't. But I think we place so much emphasis on people having to feel like they have to be clean and shiny and new in a new relationship. They're not themselves.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take a note from my man Geronimo from Drinking Partners. As far as when you, and I mean, me and him kind of have the same belief on this, is that when you first meet someone, you don't meet them, you meet their representative. And I think it's also because people are so much fear of really discussing their issues that people don't want to be considered crazy, as as stated, or nah, man, you got too much going on, I ain't trying to deal with that, and so on and so forth. And
yeah.
So that leads kind of people to be a little phony out here. Like, look, in that case, I know this is what most people are looking for, so let me act this way, get in, and as time goes on, they're going to get a little bit of all this extra baggage that I got going. And that's usually not the time to do it, because then people are confused about it. But I better start talking to y'all bar. I know, look, first of all, counseling is not affordable for everybody, but y'all got barbers, strippers, and beauticians out here, and the bartender. Y'all better start using somebody.
Jesus Christ.
Well, damn. Well, Q just told y'all what y'all need to do with yourselves. I don't have nothing to add to that.
God damn, he's like, you can start talking to somebody.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, like, because there's a lot of stuff that's just not expressed. Like, these are things that we're holding on, and then we just blow up at people, and then when people run away, we're like, nobody loves me. And it's like, you didn't really give me a chance to.
Well, you can't ask people to love you and then push, you can't invite people closer and push them away when they get there.
Exactly.
I think that's the thing that a lot of us do, right? And because well, not everybody, because I know that I can only speak for me, but guilty, because I will say that I crave human interaction and that I want a boyfriend, or that I want to be with somebody. And then I'm thinking about it and I'm just like, do I really want to be with somebody, or am I just cold and I need to put an extra blanket on my bed? Like,
that's horrible.
So those hoodies ain't keeping you warm? I mean,
huh?
The hoodies aren't keeping you warm either? Like, what's the point of you?
Well, I haven't sold a single hoodie this year. So like I said, like, I've been relatively good this year. I've done anything.
So what do you do with the hundreds of thousands that you stole over the last 10 years?
First of all, I've not sold hundreds and thousands of anything. So first off. Okay. Second of all, they're still there. But like, there are a couple that I've gotten probably in the past couple of years where I feel weird wearing them, if that makes sense. Like, there's one that I have. And then what happened is the person was wearing a version of this hoodie in one of their Instagram photos. So I took a screenshot of it, circled the hoodie, and was like, I'm going to steal that. So this person thought they would circumvent my theft by just buying me the same hoodie in a different color.
So shame on them for wanting to keep their purchased hoodie. Okay,
right.
I got you.
So, I mean, it was very nice of him to buy me my own, but now I'm just like, it's sitting in the closet and I've never worn it. And I'm like, I don't want that shit.
So the hoodies tell a story? Is that what we're getting at?
Hey, it don't matter. They in the closet. They up there. I guess. Like I said, I don't want that. I'm over that. That was last year. We done moved on to other things. Those last year's hoodies. I need to get with this year's hoodies. And the year almost over, so I don't have this year's hoodies. The point. Man.
Oh, so that's the New Year resolution. I got you. I feel that.
I'm a girl. We like new shit.
Ah. Interesting.
I need
new to you. I mean, because they're technically stolen hoodies. So I mean,
okay, well, yeah, new to me, new to somebody. Who cares? New, you, thrifted, whatever. Thrifted, re-gifted, white elephant, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's mine now.
Man, you know what? Speaking of you said white elephant, I actually did one of those for the first time this year. That shit felt hella corny, but that shit was actually kind of fun.
Did you get something nice?
Man, hell nah. The thing I wanted, somebody jacked from me. But,
Would you like me to hit the kneecap in the parking lot and take it back for you?
Yes, it's cool, because the lady I work with, man, it's kind of messed up, man. Now, it was a gift card at Target.
Well, she's already spent it, I'm sure. So.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Okay, well, sorry, I can't hit her in the kneecap for that.
Yeah, but, I think my last one was like a $15 gift card and like 2 deck of cards or something like that. But it's like, hey,
Okay, well, I'm not hitting nobody for $15.
Hey man, it was free money. God damn it.
I'm not clubbing her like a baby seal for $15.
Man, look, you supposed to ride for at least 5. Come on now.
For $5?
Yes, it's the principality behind it all. That's it.
Look, I love you, and I love you. And under normal circumstances, you know how I am. We're gonna ride till the wheels fall off. We're gonna do whatever we gotta do. And you could be wrong as 2 left shoes. And what am I gonna do? We're gonna do whatever the fuck it is. And then when we're done, I'm gonna be like, you was wrong, right? And that's all it's ever gonna be. But I'm not clubbing nobody for $5. I don't care.
That's a 4 for $4 though. That's a meal. So you trying to say that you wouldn't club somebody for Q to have a meal? That's deep.
Look, yeah, I'm like we could have.
I think I'd rather just give him $5 than
we
club
rolled
somebody.
Up the Little Caesars. All you needed was the taxes. We've been straight. See,
I'm not gonna entertain. Now, if you wanted me to club her for 15, I was willing to do that. I was willing to perform a Christmas miracle and club her for $15 because you could have gotten 3 pizzas. You could have gotten 4. You could have got 3 4 for 4s. But
okay, so now I know the limit is 15. Got you. Remember that, Hayes. If it's 15 bones,
if I got to drive all the way to Dallas, yeah. Correct. The car don't run on good energy and unicorn shit. What?
Man, look, you just got the new gig. You know you got it like that. I don't even know why she out here trying to play me, man. You know what she making about,
What do I tell you and everybody else? I'm what? What 2 things am I?
Hey, even rich people think they poor sometimes. They always tell you they broke.
What do I tell you? What 2 things am I?
Broke.
Poor and ugly. Thank you. Right. Thank you. There we go.
The lies, man. But
exactly, people just want to lie. Like, why she got to include you in her sin? Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know, man. She got me running with the story like everybody else, you know.
It keeps people away.
Oh man, I got one more quick thing though. All right,
okay.
Last thing. Should income determine, or your lack of thereof, determine if you're able to have children or not? V, you got more information on this particular question, right?
Yes. So there was a conversation being had about poor people and whether or not having a child is indicative of you, because there's always this narrative, right, of people having more children than they're able to take care of. And then it's like, oh, well, if you can't afford them, you shouldn't be having kids. And a lot of people attribute this to this idea that as a whole, as a collective, as a country, we look down upon poor people or people that are less fortunate. And in doing so, because they get government handouts, or we wouldn't call them handouts, but if they get government assistance or they get some type of assistance or extra funding or anything for free, then we assume that because of that, they shouldn't have nice things, or that they should never go on vacations, or they should never be happy, or in this case, they shouldn't have children because they technically can't afford them. Okay. So I was just curious, is affordability of children a deterrent to having them? Like, is that the attitude that we should have? You're poor, so you shouldn't have children.
Hayes, you want to go ahead and take that one first?
I mean, if you can't take care of yourself, why would you? Like, I mean, and I'm sorry if I'm pissing anyone by saying that, but if you cannot financially take care of yourself, why would you selfishly bring a child into a situation to where you don't even know what the fuck you're doing for yourself? Like, yes, I understand we do have government assistance and all these other programs that people do rightfully need. But I wouldn't say that you should set out to have a child because you know that those things are available. Those things are supposed to be available because of a hardship someone runs into, not just, hey, I'm going to have a kid because guess what? I can get $400 in food stamps a month and we'll be okay. That should not be the mindset, at least in my opinion. That's very problematic, and it's an abuse of the system in my opinion. Like, and that's, of course, that's saying if you set out to have a child. I'm not even saying the ones that pop up with the random kids or whatever, but that's kind of my thought.
Okay, I would say this. I remember the one time, so my ex, my oldest daughter's mom, it's just kind of, because I never grew up on assistance or anything like that. I knew it was available, but I didn't even know the whole process of getting that shit. And I remember when my oldest was about to be born, she was like, okay, well, we can go ahead and get on housing. We can get on this. We can get on that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, really? That's the plan? And I was like, all right, whatever. And then she was like, well, go ahead and call housing to see if we get on. And, you know, I called them and they were like, yeah, you know, we'll hit you up in Port Arthur. But it's going to be like 2 years because that's how long the waiting list is. I hung up. I said, nah, we good. I said, we can figure something out in 2 years. If we can't, that's our problem. But I can agree when it comes to the idea of if your plan is to have them knowing that you have that safety net and you're going to, because I mean, some of the issues we run into is a generation of people on assistance. That'd be grandma was, their mama was, therefore daughter became on it, and so on and so forth. And we see like a kind of like an epidemic, if you want to even use that word. So yes and no. I'm like, I wouldn't say if you had kids and you felt on hardship that due to the fact of being poor now you don't need them, or if you just happen to been having sex and all of a sudden one pop up that you need to be treated otherwise. I wouldn't say that either. But if you are someone who has 4 or 5 kids, and you struggling, and you like, well, I'm about to have this 5th one, this 6th one because I can get more, I can see an issue with that.
Well, yeah, I certainly don't think that you should be having kids as an abuse of the system or to get more money. But I think that what happens is that we feel, like I said, I think it goes back to this idea that poor people shouldn't have nice things, which, I mean, I'm not saying children are things, but I feel like if you are in a position where maybe you are just kind of scraping by or whatever, and you come up pregnant, does that mean that you then have to get an abortion, or you have to get rid of your kid because you weren't in a place to take care of it?
No.
Should you be allowed to keep your children? Are we going to start sterilizing poor people? I'm just saying, where is the line here?
I mean, historically, we've been down that road before. A lot of people, that's the problem, is a lot of people don't pay attention to stuff you learn in history. During the age of eugenics, they were sterilizing poor people. They were sterilizing black women. They were sterilizing people who were considered mentally dysfunctional or so on and so forth. So we've been down that road. That is, in my opinion, it's immoral because I'm like, who am I to come and say, nah, I'm about to take your whole uterus out? Like, for real though.
I need that. Let me get that uterus up off.
Exactly. Oh, you ain't using it properly? Yeah, let me go ahead and grab that. We gonna repo this shit. For real though.
Keep waiting for him to come pick mine up, and nope. Haven't come for this bitch yet. I don't know what the holdup is.
But and I mean, it's also one of those things, like, we like to look at stop counting other folks' pockets. That's my biggest issue. Is I remember I worked with a lot of people. They used to talk about that, and people who were paying with food stamps, and they'll look at their card talking about they got steaks and shit, and I'm out here working and I ain't got steak. I'm like, man, look, first of all, chill. This ain't your money. But
which brings me back to the point. We don't want poor people to have anything nice.
No, you don't deserve steak, goddammit. I work. And you
I work 40 hours a week and I can't get steak. You don't work. Like, no, fuck all that. Like, they're using their benefits the best way they can. Like, come on.
I mean, I'd rather see people don't have any extra money to go out and buy steak. So essentially, without the assistance, that's something they would never have. So you're saying that their children should never have a decent meal or anything good? Like,
hell no, fuck them kids. That's probably what somebody would say.
You better put them steak backs and go get some of that bologna over there, that garlic bologna. That's what they say.
I better see nothing but little Hosties,
little Debbie cupcake,
ravioli,
and bologna loaf. Oh, speaking of loaves, can I ask y'all something? I know this is unrelated, but have you ever heard of chitlin loaf?
Oh God,
yes.
Okay, because a man at work, he was trying to offer me some, and I think he likes me, and I'm deeply concerned.
Wait, chitlin loaf is his first shot, huh?
Well, he's like 48, so I think that's why.
Hey, you know when you mess with older men, you get worms, though, right?
Well, his dick probably doesn't work, so there's that.
I don't know, man. He might pop you off, and you be like, man, I'm in love. That's
First
the best
of all,
I've
he's
had.
chitlin loaf, so no, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Man, he gonna put the 48 years of experience on you. No.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I asked you about the fucking chitlin loaf. Now you look now.
I ain't gonna lie. It's
I don't want
like
it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
now I was gonna say I ain't gonna lie. I thought chitlin loaf was fictional as fuck, but I didn't know that was a real thing. I just remember from Martin, and they were talking about that when they were trying to do their wedding.
Well, apparently it's a thing, and he makes it. And he was like, "I'm gonna bring you some," and I was like, "I don't want that."
I don't know. Would you be up to eating chitlin loaf? Like Hayes? I mean, I'm not a big chitlin fan anyway. I don't think just the preparation of it turned me off. But
Listen, if somebody offers me chitlin loaf, I'm taking that as a disrespect to my ancestors, my family, and my future grandkids. Like, no, if you like, no, I'm sorry, no, that's disrespect to the highest level. I'm good.
It's like them slapping you. It's like them open hand slapping you and like spitting on you. It's horrible.
Are y'all saying the offering of chitlin loaf is an act of war now? Is that what we're going with?
Words.
Absolutely. We are the official Hatfields and McCoys after that.
If you come to me and say, I have brought you this chitlin loaf for Christmas, that is you telling me in my mind, hey, bitch, you ugly, and I'm ready to fight, so you can go ahead and catch these hands. Like, that's all I'm hearing. I'm not hearing anything else. Chitlin loaf equals, I want to fight you, bitch. You ready or not?
See,
that's all that means.
I would feel that and that you trying to kill me slowly. Like, yeah, I'm about to give you this whole chitlin loaf, and I hope you die afterwards. I mean, they don't even sound like something that's appealing. Right.
Well, for those of you who don't know what chitlin loaf is, apparently you cook the chitlins on your stovetop. You boil them as you would normally. Then after you do that, you pour the chitlins into a pan with butter. You stick them in your oven, and you let them cook until they congeal into one solid piece. And then you cut it off like pieces of bread, like a loaf of bread. That is chitlin loaf.
That sounds horrible.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Good. This is like, really? Really, that's what people are doing. Like, first of all, what demented person thought, you know what? I boiled my chitlins, but I'm gonna take it the next step. I'm going to the next level with it. I'm about to bake these motherfuckers. Man. Like, who thinks that?
And then they're slimy, so then you're baking them back into like their own slime. Like,
oh, come on, man! Somebody was like, "Yo, I got one for him." I know we've been eating regular chitlins out here. Watch this, B. I'm about to pop these shits in the oven. Throw some hot sauce on top of it. We good. We eating for days.
That is up there with like chicken and pig. That's like eating chicken feet. Like that. See,
that's the Louisiana shit. You know, I'm cool, man. The most exotic shit I ever tasted was frog legs, and that's just because I'm from Southeast Texas. That's about it.
Well, they're good.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened was I thought they were wings because I was a kid. And when I bit into it, I was like, man, that's a weird taste. Like, what is that? And they was like, oh, that's frog legs. I was like, sure, I already started it. Might as well finish it. So, you know.
I done told you, my grandma and my mom and them from the country, so. You had it in the forest. We probably done ate it, so.
Probably. Oh, man. Well, Hayes, I'm sorry we gave you the idea of chitlin loaf. Maybe go ahead, treat your family to that. Let them know how much you really don't like them. And also tell folks, you know, when the next episodes are coming out, what's new coming up, and you know, all that good stuff, and where they can follow you and all that.
Cool. You can follow me at CEOHaize. That's at CEOHaize. A new episode of The Awakened Soul drops every Sunday night. Monday morning is probably when you'll see it. But yeah, so we have a topic coming up on the hidden messages in hip hop, which is a big one that I'm excited for. We just had a white privilege episode that VJ was actually on and shined on that episode. So we discuss all types of things. As far as like the Breaks Media Network, just follow me. You guys will get all the updates on that. We got some really big stuff coming in 2019.
All right. V handles where they can find the episodes and all that stuff. You know, you remember all that stuff.
Funny. You can find the show on Twitter. Please tweet us, comment. If you are live tweeting the show, you can use the hashtag ChoppingItUpPod. The show's Twitter is at ChoppingItUp_pod. No G on chopping. We are not chopping, we are chopping. What else? You can find me personally if you would like to bother me on Twitter as well. And on Instagram, it is at VJ_Burton. I post things periodically on IG, but never anything super important. So Twitter's probably the best place to catch me. I'm also on Snapchat. That is Meek B. And once again, I implore you, please do not send me your nudes or your penis. Thank you so much in advance. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Q. Where can people find you, sir?
Oh, well, y'all can hit me up. I am on Twitter at _Q_the_great. I can actually start posting a little bit more because the semester is over, even though we go back in another 2 weeks, but at least get a little breather. And I am also on Facebook at Quentin Simpson. I ain't got Snapchat and all that stuff. I'm sorry. I don't have the private Snapchat for the ladies out here. Maybe one day if I get permission. You know, I might just get on and just like eat food and talk to y'all or something because for some reason people pay for that shit. But yeah, other than that.
Oh wait, before I forget, church announcements. Boom. So yeah, before I forget, I want to congratulate you. Yes, so Q has finished with his first semester of grad school. He has held on. It did not murder him or kill him as I thought it would. So congrats, bro. I'm super proud of you. Yay.
Yay.
Shout out to Takenya from Takenya Talks. For those of you who know us or me, I tweet about Takenya all the time because she is an amazing, amazing young lady. And she graduated with her undergrad this weekend. So shouts out to her. Congrats, baby girl. Super, super excited for the next chapter of everything for you.
Yeah, we gotta send her something. So, yeah, we gotta get an address.
I do have her address. I've just been, like I said, it's poor at the moment. But I got her. We're going to chip in and we're going to get you something. We didn't forget, babe.
All right. Cool, man. Hey, man, big shout. I remember when I first graduated, I was happy to get the fuck away from there. Then, Nelnet came calling like 6 months later, like, yo, Playboy, what's good with them payments, though? Hey, man, but it's all good. It's what's that?
Still harassing me, Navient, right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, they barely wait for you to, hell, the ink barely dry on your diploma, and they already
diploma. I ain't even got the diploma, and they call them diploma in the mail, and they already call them. Like, I ain't even got this shit yet. Y'all got to chill. At least let me put it up first.
Hey, man. Talked to the dude earlier. He said, man, sometimes as much as Sally Mae call and he got to pay her, he feel like he cheating on his wife. But anyways, but nah, man, first of all, I like to thank our guest, CEOHaize. Appreciate it, dog. Coming through. Welcome anytime. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you weren't too off the rails for you.
Oh, not at all, man. Not at all. If you listen to some of the shows I do, you'll know this was actually me being tame. So there you go.
Oh man, see, you should have let loose, man. We can have
it.
It's my first time. It's my first time in your house. The first time you go over somebody's house, you're good. You're on your best behavior. The next time we're family, so I'm coming to cut some shit up at that point.
Hey, there you go. That's my philosophy. Hey, if you come to my house more than once, you know where shit is.
Yeah, that's how I do when he comes to visit. He's not even a guest anymore.
I still be trying to convince her to fix my plate, but we working on it.
You got a wife to come with you. She can fix your plate. You ain't slick.
Anyways, man, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who supported us throughout the year. Yeah, technically just a year for me and her, and all of new listeners, old listeners, all of y'all, you're very appreciated. And without any further much more to say, man, look, we up out.
Laters.
Peace.